Hello and welcome back again. So this video, as mentioned before in the last one, is going to be centered around Queenstown, Warnka, and Fjordlands because we spent about a week kind of mucking about in that area. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. So of course we started out this portion of the trip with a flat tire, but after calling THL, they got it fixed, which was great, pretty quickly. So then we headed over to Queenstown and we explored the area a little bit, and we stopped by, we tried to go to a place called Bird Burger, which apparently is like a very popular area, chain to go to in Queenstown, but the line was so long that we decided to just get some other food nearby instead. Afterwards, we did this hike called Queenstown Hill, and just walking to the hike was a walk itself. It was really steep, but the hike was really well kept. It was kind of lots of switchbacks kind of going up this wooded hill. You can also see right here that there was like this portion with lots of little stone, little sculptures or Karens, hi mom, that were kind of placed along here. Of course, I made one myself. I had to leave a mark of sorts, right? But I thought this was really cool. And then the view at the top was just, I mean, it was really stunning. That first mountain range you can see right there in the background, that is I think called the Remarkables. I think that's what the mountain range is called. So super pretty, and lots of Lord of the Rings sites were actually filmed kind of in this area. After that, we headed down the lake a little bit and went to a Lord of the Rings site. So I don't know if you can recognize this, but this is actually where Sam and Frodo spot the Oliphaunts. There's me being an Oliphaunt, running along the grass there. After watching Lord of the Rings, after this scene, I realized that I'm going the wrong way. The Oliphants actually come from the other direction, but you know, kind of not the point. And then you'll see me running up and pretending to be the dead guy who falls, and so yeah, that was fun. It was cool to just kind of be there, and it actually surprisingly looked a lot like it. So after Queenstown, we headed up to Arrowtown, which is a small town just north of Queenstown, and it's kind of like a less touristy, more residential of sorts, Queenstown, which is like a big ski area, really. And Arrowtown was super cute. Okay, so we are at a wine, taste by volume, pay by volume. Yeah, that's what it is. You press these buttons, and you can taste small portions of fancy, expensive wine. So you could do small, a little bit more, and a little bit more.
So yeah, so this bottle of wine, you can have this much for like 6 New Zealand, which is like $4.
Yeah, when it's realistically a $70 bottle. So you have your...
Which is nice, because then you actually know you like it before you buy it.
Oh, so nice. There's Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs, and then you have... What's over there? There's like, basically they have it categorized.
Sweet wines, white wines, the Pinots mostly, red Pinots, and then they have heavy reds, and... Oh, no, I mixed it up. This is the sweet wine.
Oh, yeah.
Back there is other whites.
This is so cool.
This is fantastic.
So after walking around Arrowtown a little bit more, we headed down to Te Anau, and again passed down by the lake, which had beautiful views along, very windy and kind of steep, but you know, we had done a lot worse by that point. And down in that area, that is right along the Fjordlands. And you can see this is a lake right there where apparently the water level was so high that the dock was actually flooded. And we actually stopped by a Mexican restaurant because we were kind of hankering for it, and we got a burgerito, which was quite an abomination, but we doused it in hot sauce and it wasn't too bad. So that night we actually drove all the way to Nightcaps and then all the way back pretty much for the Kepler Trek, because that was the closest free site. And this is just kind of what the start of the Kepler Trek looked like. It was really beautiful, kind of lush forest.
They're planning something.
Oh, I don't know, Coach. I think it's probably best to leave it alone.
That's right, you don't think! You do what you're told!
I'm sorry. You know, you may have not won this match, but you won something much more important. I give you my respect.
Dude, do you start the day by tying a sweater around your waist?
Give me 5!
So the entire trek was actually very well organized, and the track itself was very well kept. So it was basically just a switchbacks all the way up that, you know, Orion and I could walk abreast the entire time. So it was really well kept. And these are the views that we got right after we got above the tree line. I mean, the views were really great, even on this kind of like somewhat overcast day. And you can see a lot of the fjordlands off in the distance, which is really cool. And Orion got a little video of Appa here, which was quite cute and I think fitting for the snowy environment. And then after walking for another about 45 minutes or so, the weather started to turn a little bit, a little kind of rainy, nothing too bad. Luckily, we made it to the hut. And the hut, this is called, I think just Kepler Hut. I forgot the exact name of it. But I mean, you had beautiful views out into the mountains right from it. And the hut was full of a ton of people, and we were able to talk to some people from the Coromandel and talk to the hut warden some, which is just volunteer position that they come up for, you know, a week at a time and like stay there, which sounds like a dream. And we actually met this one kid from Massachusetts as well, who was doing a work study there, which was super cool. And about 10 minutes away from the hut, there was also this cave that you could just, you know, walk over to. So, of course, Orion and I made the trek through some waist-deep snow and kind of ventured into this cave some. And there were some really cool limestone formations. It got tight at some point, so you can actually see me kind of crawling through the rock here to kind of get further into the cave, which was really, really fun. Yeah, and here's a picture of us in the cave all by ourselves, which was really, yeah, we had the cave all to ourselves, which was great. And then the next morning we woke up really early because we were freezing our butts off because we didn't have sleeping bags. So we decided to wake up early and leave so we could warm up in the car, or at least warm up by hiking. But that also meant that we got some really great views early in the day and also beat some of the bad weather. So after Kepler, we headed up to Wanaka, which is a kind of another town similar as to Queenstown, another somewhat skiing town, but so we are once again having carb halt. This time yesterday, about 20 minutes from our destination, there was a gearbox issue in the car. The gearbox wasn't working properly, so here we are the next day. We called the company, they sent someone out. They're working on it now. It's about 12:30. We're hoping to do Roy's Peak today, so let's hope that still is able to happen. So we have made it to Roy's Peak. The mechanic said there was apparently nothing wrong with the car, so let's hope it stays that way. But that right there, we're pretty much climbing straight up that. Should be a beautiful view the whole way through, and you can see what we have to look forward to kind of over there. So as I elegantly put in that last clip right there, we did eventually make it to Roy's Peak. And the timing of it was really great because literally 2 days after we went, the hike was actually closed because it's lambing season and sheep were grazing all over the slopes. So we got there at really great timing, and this is one of the most popular hikes in all of New Zealand. So it was very lucky that we were able to do it. So as you can see in these videos, the entire way up we had views of kind of the surrounding landscape of Wanaka and of the lake nearby, because there was no trees there, so really, really beautiful. So after finishing Roy's Peak, we ended up kind of exploring Wanaka some, checking out some of the shops they had in the area, and also walking along the waterfront, which is right along the lake. So we had these beautiful trees, and they actually had this kind of timeline of sorts built into the walkway that you were able to look at the history of New Zealand, which was a nice, cool little touch that they had. The very next day, we ended up going up to Mount Aspiring National Park, which is probably one of the prettiest places I've ever been, and probably my favorite place that I've been in New Zealand. I mean, it's hard to really choose, but this place was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it was these beautiful snow-capped mountains, and right in between was this gorgeous, lush valley. And I've never been more jealous of sheep, because there were sheep and cows all throughout this valley grazing along the slopes, and just along the trail. And as you can see right here, actually, there were so many sheep that we had to kind of, drive through a herd, which was quite amusing. Okay, we are in Mount Aspiring National Park, and we're remarking about how unbelievably gorgeous this is. I mean, holy crap. There are waterfalls up there. They're kind of hard to see. I don't really know how to, oh, you can kind of see it right there. Woo! But I just want to take a lawn chair and grab a book and some cheeses and some bread.
Olives.
And olives. Of course, olives, and just sit and just, it's unbelievable. And as I mentioned before, here are the cows that we pretty much walked directly past. And after being charged back on the East Coast by a cow, we were much more cautious around them and kept our kept as much distance as we could when the trail was not very wide. I mean, we couldn't really get much further than this. But we ended up hiking all the way out to the Mount Aspiring hut. We didn't end up staying there. We just kind of checked it out and headed back that very same day. And you can kind of see here in the distance, like right under these mountains. And there's a couple more huts down valley that we could have gone to if we had left a little bit earlier, but we kind of left a little too late in the day to go much further past that. And along the entire hike, there were these two ducks, which we kind of started calling our spirit ducks, because it was only these two, only two at a time. We would never see more than one pair, and they were all along the trail. And we're like, these ducks must be following us. It was quite funny. Afterwards, we headed down to the suspension bridge, which is where we pretty much spent the night, but we were also able to see some people bungee jump. We did not do it because it was really expensive and just not quite worth it, but it was fun seeing other people do it, and we were able to stay the night right next to it for free. So that was another kind of cool touch. And this is also a Lord of the Rings site was filmed here. The Argonath was a little bit further up the this gorge, which, fun little factoid there. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. These are always fun to make, and it's nice kind of having some sort of digital scrapbook of sorts. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.